What's up, fam? And welcome back again to Recap Kickback presents the Flavor of Love Kickback live here on YouTube and Twitch. It's me, your host, Chappell, and we are here to talk about the finale of season one of the Flavor of Love with somebody who just experienced this momentous occasion for the very first time. My co-host, Chantele. Chantele, welcome back.
I'm so happy to be back. I'm sad that this journey is over, to be honest. I know we still have, it's the beginning of a new journey soon. Like one door closes, another door opens. Get that. But I'm kind of sad with this group of people coming to an end, this whole story. But I'm happy to be here, of course. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. Yeah, it's a highlight of my summer.
No, this has been so much fun. And you're right. We are about to close the book on Flavor of Love season one, but we do have a reunion special to talk about. And none other than Matt Scott will be coming back to join us for that, to talk about the insanity that is the Flavor of Love reunion. And as you stated earlier, we are just beginning our Flavor of Love cinematic universe rewatch, first watch, because we still have Flavor of Love season two coming soon. And so with that, we have to talk about how we ended Flavor of Love season one. But first, I want to give a shout out to the chat. I see you, Gina, in the chat. I see that, our YouTube viewers, our Twitch viewers have been popping in and checking out the Flavor of Love. And of course, it did taste great. And so we do need to talk about our winner here. Chantele, we had some bold predictions this season, but we got our winner. It's Hoopz.
Hoopz.
Chantele,
did I ever say Hoopz was going to win or no? I said, did I?
I think your prediction was that like Flav was going to either pick nobody or he was going to pick Hoopz and she was going to turn him down or something like that. And it was going to be something like that. And so what we ended up getting is Flav coming down to New York and Hoopz for the final clock ceremony and this brilliant grill that he had to make as well. And he does choose Hoopz. Were you surprised by the way this show was edited to show that Hoopz is our ultimate winner?
Well, no, I did have an inkling that he might choose her in the end. He did mention that he finds her really beautiful, and not to say that he doesn't find New York beautiful, but he definitely said it out loud that he thinks that Hoopz is really, really beautiful. And so I think that was definitely coloring his decision, like kind of like an arm candy type thing. And like I think he just wanted to be seen with Hoopz because he found her beautiful. So I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised that he let New York go, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, because New York has gone above and beyond to convince us that she is in love with this man. Flavor Flav is convinced that New York is in love with him. We know New York is convinced that she is in love with him because she said she did take that lie detector test and it said, you think that you're in love with him, But Chantele, you've gone on quite the journey from beginning to end, and you were shocked that New York got let go. Do you think New York leaves this show still in love with Flavor Flav?
Well, she didn't have tears. There was no liquids coming out of her eyes. And I would think that if she was or I were in love with somebody and they just cut me from the competition against somebody that I've been fighting with for the last few days, I feel like there would be some like actual tears coming out of my face. And like she did like go and say, but like no tears. So I think I feel bad saying this.
Uh-oh.
But it may have all been a bit of an act. And she got what she wanted. She got to the end. She got to stay on the show for the whole time. She got to leave her mark. And maybe they were right saying that she was there for a little bit of fame.
Okay, that now I have to flip the question on you and something that I haven't really asked you thus far. What about Hoopz? Is Hoopz in love with Flavor Flav by the end of this?
I don't think so at all. I think Hoopz just wanted to win, to be honest. I think she likes him. I don't think she's that like attracted to him. Like I don't see like the, I feel like she likes the novelty of the idea of being with him. like even like the lifestyle that they potentially will have. Like I think all of that is appealing to her. I don't know if she's in love with the man though. No.
Interesting. So we do get Hoopz crowned the winner, but let's talk about how we got there because this is in the wake of the pumpkin spit incident, and Hoopz is like, "Look, that was awful, but it couldn't have been me because pumpkin, you still be picking pumpkin up off the ground," and that's kind of how I felt too in the moment. Chantele, New York let her off easy because she was determined to get this clock. Hoopz says, "Like, all that would have gone out the window."
Now, do you think that Flav got the ick when she got spat on? Because it just
Ooh.
like it's just not flattering to see somebody degraded like that. And I just wonder if that just kind of like instead of him wanting to be her knight in shining armor, like maybe it was just like,
Yeah. Do you think that it would have been like more appealing to him if New York did beat Pumpkin ass? Like, would that like have re-endeared him? Like, well, at least you got your lick back.
maybe a little bit, to be honest, you know? Like I think so.
Yeah.
I think he didn't like seeing her in such like a demeaning position, and I wonder if he got a little bit of like a ick.
Well, that's a fair point. I think that I don't know if he got the ick, but I definitely would say that it's probably outside of New York's character to be on the losing side of some of these spats. You know, not to use spat lightly, but you know, because we always see New York kind of having the upper hand in these fights. With the exception of maybe one or two, like I think Rain could go toe to toe with New York any day. Hoopz is clearly not afraid of New York at all. But like this pumpkin thing, I think New York's more like of the dominant person in that. And to this, she kind of like, although Pumpkin does a very cowardly thing and disgusting thing by spitting on this woman's face and running, it does kind of feel like Pumpkin got one over on her a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if it just tainted his image of her. And like it wasn't something that he consciously did, but I just feel as though in that moment, like she just was demeaned so badly that I just don't know if he could see her in a different light, you know?
Yeah, well, New York does tell us in confessional that she will see Pumpkin again and she will whoop her ass. Chantele, we have a reunion coming up.
Oh my god, hair pulling.
What do you think? Do you think we're gonna get a little ass whoop for Pumpkin?
No, but they're definitely gonna have some words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll definitely have some words.
Okay, can't wait to track what that looks like on the next episode because I will say that there are some fireworks for sure. Like I said, Hoopz would not have gone for this, but it's okay. We move on. We got to go to Mexico for the next portion of, well, the first portion of this finale. Gina's pointing out in the chat that, you know, New York said that Pumpkin's breath did stink. And so maybe it was the nasty spit that was like, it's like, but
nasty.
But it doesn't keep Flav's hands off of New York because they will go to Mexico and New York will get the first date. Now, to me, the producers are living for this final two, right? Because I think there is a world where Pumpkin and New York are the final two and you legit will get a fist fight, you know? But I think that Hoopz and New York, the way their questions are being asked in confessional, like if you watch it for the first time, maybe years ago, like when I did, you probably didn't notice it. But you have to know all these questions are like, so what do you think about New York now? So doesn't Pumpkin make you mad? Doesn't Hoopz make you mad? You know, like you could tell because almost every confessional we get from Hoopz is like, I don't care about New York. I don't like New York. I want her away from me. Like, you know, like they're not even really talking about Flav at this point. New York is kind of like, he's mine. I told you he's mine. He's going to be mine. But Hoopz is like, I don't even want to touch him. I don't want to touch him when he touches New York. I don't want to see him when he touches New York. I don't want her rooming near me. I feel like they were leading the witness a bit.
Definitely. And they're also, I think they're using footage to mislead us, right? Mm-hmm. Because this whole finale, I would say New York is more focused on their connection and him and her. And even when she's fighting with Hoopz, a lot of it is about he loves this, he loves his body. It's all about me and him when we make like all that stuff is about them. And she's just like, and Hoopz is just like not about New York. And so I think that contrast is to make us think that New York is the one that gets the guy because she's so much more focused on their relationships. So I think that it was edited that way. I wouldn't be surprised if there's tons of footage of New York just dragging Hoopz, but I don't think they chose to show it to us through the finale.
Absolutely. I definitely agree that there's probably a bit of a misdirect here. And it's throughout the entire episode. We'll get to the makeovers and the dresses later on. But in Mexico, Flav ends up wearing this big ass sombrero. And New York says, he wore that for me. I can tell. He likes things for me. You know, like that kind of thing. And the whole
Did
time,
you? Would you wear that green suit?
hell
I feel
yeah.
like I can see you.
Chantele, between you and I've been planning my Flavor of Flav Halloween costume this entire time. Like, I can't unsee it in my mind now that I have to
It's
be
that one.
dressed
It's
like
that
Flavor.
one.
It's gotta be. Well, I gotta figure out which one to do. That
No,
was
I
a little.
think that one, that green suit and sombrero.
It's a little appropriate-y. So, you know, maybe back then I
Oh
could have pulled it
shit!
off without
Yeah.
pissing somebody off. But like now I'm kind of like, look, I could definitely find maybe like that pink suit or something like that with the clock, you
Pink
know.
suit, I mean, yeah, you definitely have a lot of looks to go for. Even like the last one with like the oversized brown leather jacket and the brown do-rag and
Yes.
the brown, like, I don't know if they're leather pants or not, but yeah.
My boy was cooking. I'm sorry, he was cooking. They love this outfit on him. New York says she loves Flav, but it's obvious he has feelings for Hoopz, and her strategy is just to be true and honest in this episode. And we do get a lot of that in the edit. We get a lot of New York just talking about her feelings, whereas we get a lot of Hoopz being very like petty toward New York. Now, don't get me wrong, it goes both ways a lot of times, but majority of Hoopz' content is like, I don't even know why she's here. And it feels like production is trying to set up a little last minute conflict between these two because Flav will end up having dinner with both of them and say that the whole point of this dinner is to find out what they think about each other. Which to me, Chantele, this is a setup.
Oh yeah, it's like, so how do you feel about the op? You're like, hate them, but I think it's interesting is that they don't really hold back that much. Like, I would think if someone were asking me about the person sitting beside me that I'm in competition with, I think that I would be actually quite positive about them. Like, I would be kind about them because I wouldn't want to look like a hater, or I wouldn't want to look like kind of negative. Like, I probably would find the good attributes about them. So I just found it very interesting that they didn't have that same approach.
Well, you know, Hoopz starts off with, I think New York is here for TV. I room with her, and every time she would get in a conflict, she would always come upstairs and be very proud of the fact that she got to instigate it. And New York responds, I'm going to answer like a lady, okay? I'm not the athletic type, and Hoopz feels a little bit more sports oriented, whereas I'm sexy and seductive. So even then, New York was kind of taking the high road, but she kept like saying, like, I'm going to be the adult in this situation. And that's just boom. Hoopz is back and forth. She's like, there's nothing seductive about New York with all the weight that she's gained and like the way she's been walking around the house in that lingerie. That's not sexy. So yeah, you're right. It's Hoopz is going for the low blows immediately. And it feels like New York is almost like, I won't say she's taking the high road, but she's more like taunting. It's like, right, it's very calculated. Like she's baiting her. Like, oh, you know, I could never stoop to her level. She's so childish, and it really is dragging the like the you know the childish side out of Hoopz for sure.
Well, we also have to remember they're both 23 years old.
They're babies. These women are babies, and Flav is like, I don't know how I feel about this childishness. I'm like, date women your age.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you wouldn't have this problem with people 20 years older.
Yeah, you could just date women your own age, Flav. No disrespect, love you to death, but like that would alleviate some of this. You know,
child. If you don't want childish behavior, don't be playing around with children.
Yeah. One of Hoopz' criticisms against New York is that she says New York goes crazy every time there's another woman around Flav. And New York's like, yeah, that's true. I don't care. You know, they get to arguing. Hoopz is like, I don't know what you see in her, and she can kiss my ass. And New York says, Hoopz better move out of the way. So it's very clear that, again, I feel like they're being pushed together for this conflict. But Flav is not loving it. You know, he's like, all right, I got to separate y'all. Let's go back and have our one-on-ones. And so the next day, New York comes out looking so good that Flav about falls off a boat. They have some tender moments on the boat. They're kissing. New York says she brings out the passion of. They hit a private beach. Just a nice date, Chantele.
I like the date. That she's enjoying herself. They're enjoying each other's company. It's romantic. It's lush and lavish. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like this date. It's definitely a very bachelor date, or even like a super date for Love Island, and like the final dates for the couple. So yeah.
Yeah, this was, I mean, honestly, for New York to lose this exchange, this was a really good episode for New York. This is probably her best episode of the season, honestly, with the way things are going. Because,
Well,
like,
maybe with her in the kayak.
well, that's the thing too. He's like, I want to see if she can hang on the outdoor stuff because I know she doesn't like athletic stuff, and she goes and has a good time. Like she hates it, but she's having a good time. You could tell she's giving it the old college try. Like, think about New York's reaction with the old folks home. Like she was just not having it. She's outside, like she's struggling, she's stressed, she don't want to touch anybody, but she's all in on this date.
She's all in. She is all in. I have to agree that even when she's like on the kayak and falling in the water and just tumbling in, maybe she's trying to go for a little bit damsel in distress. Yeah, I definitely thought that she handled herself well, considering like I would not want to get my hair wet like that. Like, oh my God. Like, and then have to get all done up after and like go out for dinner. Yeah. So I definitely thought that she handled it, considering how far she's come. Right? Hello? Did I lose you? Do you not hear me anymore?
No, I hear you. Okay. She was we internet, but she was locked in. She was locked in, and I did appreciate that for her. Because her goal is to suck all the energy out of Flav. She says, I'm trying to wear him out so that by the time Hoopz gets to her, there's nothing left of him. And so she got a bunch of his energy, but she's gonna suck him dry at dinner.
Yeah, when she said the word suck, I was like even when you said it right now, I was like suck what? Like, what are you sucking?
Yeah. So she's trying to tell Flav, why he should pick her. And for a minute, I'm thinking he's not paying attention because you know how Flav gets when he's eating. But she's like, I just fit better. I'm made for you. It's a cold truth, and she must face the fact that this might be their last dinner. She wants him to know how much that she loves him and that why he should pick her over Hoopz. And she gets really emotional. She says that if it is or not meant to be, that he touched her and she just wants him to be happy and she wants the best for him. And so Flav is feeling this. He loves this so much. He gives her a necklace with her name on it. And then they go up the stairs for dessert and a nightcap. And the nightcap, they kind of skip the night. They go straight to dessert. They, New York, and she finally gets her alone time with Flav. And that she will later on tell us that they didn't fuck. They made music together.
Music.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the first time they made music?
It seems
together?
like it. Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like this is the day that she finally made her move officially. She was loving her some Flav, and he was loving her.
Do you think Flav's a good lover?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, this man, like in his 40s, he's probably got a lot of experience. I'm not to say that he's like a hoe, but Flav been around. He's got some very famous love interest in the past. And then he also, was a big rapper. And so I'm sure he had, some groupies. Fame, the little clout groupies, that kind of thing. That was a very big thing when Public Enemy was a thing. So I could definitely see Flav as an experienced individual. But if you're in New York's position, Chantele, are you like, I can wait a little bit longer until I get chosen? Or do you seal the deal with this?
Well, it's hard to say. Now, okay, if we look in terms of The Bachelor, usually the person that has the first date on The Bachelor's, like they have these overnight dates. Well, it depends. Actually, they've done it both ways. But the first date, it tends to be with the person that they like the most, or the last date is with the person that they like the most, right? But there's only two of them, so we'll just go with the first date. And I feel like they usually only have sex with one person. And it's usually the person that they choose in the end. And the times that they've had sex with multiple people, it's been a big clusterfuck and they end up with nobody or like whatever, something terrible happens. So I was thinking that because he had such the first date and like, she gets him fresh and like, it's just like, he's excited for her and then they sleep together, that maybe he's going to choose her because like, she has like the lasting memory and the first like, date with him. So I thought it was a good thing.
Yeah. Again, New York, even Pumpkin, they were trying to give it the whole college try. They were trying to lock this down. Hoopz will have a different outcome to her date. But Flav talks about how he likes New York because she's down, she's supportive, and she doesn't put a leash on her man. And so New York will head off to the room, and she can't even get in because Hoopz has decided, I hear her knocking, but I can make her wait a little bit.
So rude.
It's so rude.
Furious.
I have to believe in my mind that the producers were really stirring the pot by now, right? Like they're
Why doesn't she have her own key?
Right. Why doesn't she have her own key? Why are they sharing a room? This man is not poor, and neither is VH1. Like they definitely could have got her own hotel room. But no, you're like, I want them to cross paths. I want them to know that they're talking trash about each other. You know, like because New York knew. She said it took her a while to open that door. You know, I kind of feel like she left me out there hanging. And so, again, I think the production is just like, this is my dream job, Chantele. I'm not gonna
Maybe we need to reproduce 2025's version of Flavor of Love. Like, what would that be? Who would it be?
Oh gosh, do we have like a? Does there have to be a 20-year age difference in these people?
No. But I think just like similar dynamics, like what we have enjoyed about the show, like who could play the role of the Bachelor, you know, and then what kind of contestants would we want to be casting here for it? Like, do we have anybody that?
I can't think of a Flavor Flav type right now. Nobody's cool enough. You know, Flav is a caricature of a human, but he's also the coolest human alive. You know, he holds both those things at the same time. Like Flav is Flav, and it works for Flav. You know, we saw Flav get a resurgence at the Olympics last year, where like he became like an ambassador to the Olympics, and he was like advocated for the women's polo team, I want to say, and things of that nature. Like, so Flav is still the coolest man alive. Should we just bring Flav back?
He's like 60, like almost 70 years old.
He's not married.
I mean, he's not?
I don't think so. What if we bring the golden Flavor Flav? The golden Flavor of Love.
It'll be like people my age going to date him.
We can bring back the same women.
Oh my God, Flavor of Love, the golden years, 20 years later.
Yeah,
that actually may be a hit. Like with the whole the hit of the Golden Bachelor and the Golden Bachelorette. We're having the Golden Bachelor season 2's coming out soon. Mm-hmm. I mean, the golden age Flavor of Love would be.
I'm just
VH1
saying.
Better be calling you right now.
Look, you know, when MTV started doing the Real World, like 20 years later or whatever. Just saying, you send out. There was 20 women in this season. You send out 20 emails. You might get 10 of them to pull up to the mansion.
I feel like they would all do it.
I don't think they would all do it. I don't think you're getting New York. I think she's too big for it.
But like, if House of Villains can get her, so could we.
That's true. House of Villains can get her. Like, do you think we can get Pumpkin? Do you think after all of this, Pumpkin be willing to subject herself to this game? I don't know, Chantele.
You don't think she's fame hungry?
Not the way the fame that she got from this.
She's only like 44 right now.
But like, that's the thing. You could leave this behind in your 20s. In your 40s, do you really want to dredge this up? She probably has kids that are like adults.
Be like, Mom, I can't believe you did that.
Put your ass on TV. Right. And like, she's 40 something. Her kids are probably like creeping up on like grown-up
the same age she was when she was on the show.
Please don't go in and reopen these wounds. Don't open the same wounds, Flav. We don't need that.
I think wounds. We do.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, what's like? So, will I be able to do some research, like after the season's done, or is it going to spoil me for season 2?
Because you should not do any research.
So I do want to just see where they are now, and like I want you to get that whole like grid with their faces now, you know.
Okay, I can do that for the reunion.
That's
do that
a lot of work, though.
I have Matt Scott coming on as well. He will help, I'm sure. And so we can definitely do it like a where are they now. I'm sure the listeners are gonna love that. Hopefully we can find even one of these women. Maybe I'll just like do a quick email blast myself and be like, do any of y'all want to talk about Flavor of Love?
Like, what's it like now?
Yeah, like what is it like looking back on that time, you know? And so very interested. We're gonna have to put a pin in that for sure. But let's talk about Hoopz and her date. Her and Flav go ziplining. They have a very beautiful swim. They end up going to dinner, and he talks about how much he enjoys her friendship and the good times they have. And Hoopz asks the question, "What is it about New York that made you get her to this point?" And Hoopz is like, "Because I don't like her. She makes me want to throw up. I don't like when you kiss her. When you kiss her, I feel like I need to go brush my teeth before her because I'm disgusted by her. She's nasty." Bleh. And she's just dunking on New York. And to us, Flav says he's not really a fan of that. He doesn't really like that Hoopz is spending so much energy on New York. But again, I feel like she's being prodded to have these conversations.
Yeah, I definitely think she's being proud to have these conversations, but I also like I can understand not finding it attractive for her to be just shitting on his other love interests,
Mm-hmm.
Like it just spending your time talking about somebody else usually bodes poorly in these shows.
Absolutely.
Usually you're just like, yeah, like how about you talk about us? Like, why are you so worried about our relationship? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just
Mm-hmm.
talk about us, or like maybe you need to go. So I also thought that was looking bad for Hoopz because nobody is just, I don't know, it's not attractive, kind of.
At this point, did you think that Hoopz was probably maybe not going to win? Like, what was your temperature by the time you got to this point?
I I still didn't know what was going to happen. I was still thinking it was going to be like a stalemate or something. I just didn't.
Uh huh.
For whatever reason, I didn't think that New York was winning, but I didn't think that Hoopz was going to actually win. So I didn't know how that was going to happen, but that's kind of where I was feeling. How do
So
you feel about ziplining though?
I've never been ziplining before.
But you don't like stuff like that, right?
I wouldn't mind ziplining. I wouldn't mind ziplining. That doesn't bother me. I don't want to jump out or nothing. Like I don't want to skydive or anything like that. But zipline to me, like once I see the harness and stuff, I'm cool. The only thing, like I don't want to jump, but a zipline that seems fine.
You don't get like butterflies or anything like that. So like it's
Yeah.
actually it's just like hey, like me, like it's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, you've watched a lot of these like dating shows, obviously. Ziplining feels like one of those like pretty standard dates for these shows.
Ziplining, bungee jumping, even skydiving
Skydiving
happens
is
in all
crazy.
these shows. It happens on The Bachelor a couple of times. Definitely bungee jumping a couple of times. Like, yeah, they're all in there. Zip lining, and then just like with their helmets, and they're kissing in their helmets, and looking goofy, and be like, okay, let's go. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
Staple.
it's a pretty standard date. And then they have dinner, and Hoopz presents Flav with a gift. She gives him an ashtray. It's like an ashtray, but it's shaped like a booty. And so then she also writes him a letter and a poem or something. And she's like, you say good guys are one in a million, and Flav, you truly are. Even if you didn't pick me, you still be mine. I love you, Flav. And Flav is touched. They go up to the suite, and she says to hug and snuggle and sleep. And so Hoopz is not going to make music with Flav in this moment. But like I said, I understand the choice, obviously, but I kind of lean toward the side of New York in that, like, listen, if you're trying to win, I don't think there's an issue with you pulling out all the stops.
If you think that you're the winner, it's not unnatural
Necessary.
to be doing that. No, unnatural. Like if it's
Uh-huh.
like if I'm in New York in this situation, if I think that I'm going to be with this man, like that's like a normal progression in a date. So, yeah, I was surprised, not surprised, but she's been a little bit kind of prudish this season for Hoopz. So I wasn't
Mhm.
surprised that she didn't take it all the way. But I was surprised by the ashtray. Didn't it remind you of Keanu this season of Big Brother?
No, I actually didn't think about. I've been trying not to think about that man's gigantic ass for weeks now, but we just keep highlighting it. He's farting. He's wearing the big ass the butler outfit. I just don't need it. I just don't need it. I'm good,
That's
y'all.
the first thing that came to my mind was this
No, thank you.
butler suit.
No, thank you.
Anyway, sorry, I
Nope.
just need to throw
Not for
that in
me.
there.
No, it's fine. So the next day they get the flavorgrams, and it says that he's arranged for them to get dressed and have their hair done for the final elimination ceremony. And we get the tale of 2 days. We get Hoopz, awful, dirty, rotten, no good day, and the best day of New York's life. Like New York goes to get her dress, and she's just like living it up. I'm talking about trying stuff on. She ha ha ha, not just living like I mean, the people are catering to her. She's loving this lifestyle. This is the lifestyle that she dreams of, being Flav's girl and being able to have all this stuff at her fingertips. Meanwhile, Hoopz can't even get a good weave. She like, y'all got extensions. They're like, no, we don't. The person who does that's not here. Did they set her up?
Yeah, they had to have, because I mean, okay, it's definitely just changed recently, having where people that could do black hair on set, like literally within the last like 2 years, it's been like a mandatory situation that like there's at least one person on the hair and makeup team that is able to do other hair. So maybe I'll just say that they didn't have that many people that are capable of doing this that were employed by the show. But I think that it's really inconsiderate to like have this white lady that does not know how to do black hair, like try to give her extensions. And it's not great. Not nice.
They say the person who does the weaves normally is like not there. They're just like,
she's just not hired. She doesn't work there.
So we just never hired that lady.
She doesn't work here. Never has. Work here.
Sorry, she's at the other salon. But yeah, so things are going poorly for Hoopz. But again, kind of flip us over to New York, and it looks like she's having the time of her life. Like she's getting the perfect hair, and she even really likes her dress. The dress she gets is this like bright red dress that you'll see in our thumbnail here. And Hoopz actually doesn't even like that dress, but for some reason, New York, the only dress that Hoopz could settle on. This cannot be a coincidence, right? The fact that they're wearing the same dress to the elimination ceremony, it's kind of messed up.
But they did go to the same store. And so they had the same sales associates. So I wouldn't be surprised if production urged them to wear the same thing.
Absolutely. There's no way. There is no way in the world
coincidence
that these two women picked the same exact dress. Especially because Hoopz don't even like the dress. She's like, I guess I'll deal with this dress. Whereas New York is like, this is the best dress ever. It's made for me. I look so good. Even when I was a kid, I thought this was fishy. I was just like, why are they dressed the same? It doesn't make sense.
It's so mean. Producers, they just want as much drama as possible. They're just squeezing every drop of drama out of the can of this final episode.
And when the girls come in the same dress, it's like ding ding ding, like let's get ready to rumble. Because that's all they needed. You know, like I said, they've been pushing them to talk about each other, to talk trash about each other. They've been putting them in the same quarters. But now you put them in the same dress. And so, of course, you're going to get the, like, oh, it looks better on me. And you can't pull that off. We get one of my more iconic New York GIFs where and I say this all the time, when she says, look at the material. You could be the judge of it. Like, that is my favorite New York quote. I say, look at the material at least once a week on this very podcast. And I'm like, look, you can't compare these things. But they are at each other's throats. It's Hoopz basically just being like, you're not wearing it as good as I am. You don't look great in it. New York being like, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you find somebody to be happy with, but it's not Flav. Like, it's so good. Like, they're in a full-on spat by the time Flav comes out, Chantele.
And that's the thing, is that, you know, it's a TV show, because in real life, there's no way that they would be fighting before they're going to be chosen by like their Prince Charming, you know, like it just wouldn't happen on anywhere else but the show. I wouldn't be doing it, but obviously I wasn't cast, and I'd probably still want to be nice. Like, New York was being nicer than Hoopz was, like in her like digging kind of way. Like she's just kind of like undercuts, like always has like a little, you know, snide remark. And Hoopz is a little bit more out there and obvious with her insults. But I think I'd just completely be the other way and just be very charming, very kind, very nice, and like, because then it would make Hoopz look a little bit more nasty.
Right. So New York says, she does say, like, I saw Hoopz wearing that dress and it pissed me off because she doesn't even look good in it. You know, like, it just bothers me that she would wear the same thing I do and then make it look so bad. And then she drops the bomb on Hoopz. She says, "Look, I know it's probably gotten back to you by now, but Flav and I have been very intimate together. We made love." And Hoopz is disgusted. She like, "You let a dude fuck you," and da da da. And New York's like, "God, we didn't fuck. We made music." And it's just like New York is petty. I love her so much. This is like peak in New York. We made music. Yeah. And that's pissing the Hoopz off even more too. Because from Hoopz' point of view, she's like, you don't have to have sex with this man just because you're on the show. And New York's like, no, I chose to have sex. And it's not even just sex. We were like made for each other. We were intertwined.
Oh, gosh.
Right.
The details that she and how she says it is really, really funny. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I need to learn that monologue.
There's so many, Chantele, honestly. There's so many that are from this season. It's so good. I think she said, like, he deserves me and I deserve him. And that's why you're going home. Like, she's done. So they've both been great to Flav. He will tell us this. But he does have to choose a winner. And he's doing the like, is it New York and Flav? Flav and Hoopz. Hoopz in New York and Hoopz. Like he's doing the back and forth. He's kind of telling them what he likes about them both. And then he utters one of the more iconic lines from this show. He says, New York, don't be mad at me, but I'm going to roll with Hoopz. I'm going to roll with Hoopz was like viral back before viral was viral.
I mean, I still was kind of shocked with how he said it, right? Because like, he kept on saying back and forth, like, you won't be mad at me, you won't be mad at me, you won't be mad at me, like assuring that neither of them would be mad at him for choosing the other person. And then he's like, okay, don't be mad at me, I'm gonna roll with Oops. I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
But she handled it like a champ.
Mm-hmm. New York's like, baby, I still love you. You know, I still have love for you. I wish the best for you. And then she takes off, and Hoopz is giddy because not only did she want to win the affection of Flav, but she wanted New York to lose. Like throughout this episode, she's like, I hope she loses. And we cut to New York. Then she said, I hope she's like crying. We cut to New York crying. Then she's like, I hope she's drinking herself
making
to death.
Making a cry face. Like,
yeah. Distraught New York. She's like, I hope she's drinking herself into a coma. We get New York taking a bottle to the head. Like, but we have the winner. New York is gone. And Flav says he picked Hoopz because when she looks at him, he can feel the fire inside of him. And so now we have the ultimate winner. And we leave New York with somewhat of a delayed reaction. This is one of my favorite things we'll get from New York. I love it so much. Tiffany says, did Flav really put me out? I mean, he's with her. I mean, like, she's with him. Like, it's like, she said, it just hit me. It just hit me that I'm legit upset about this. Like, I'm confused. Like, we're watching the range of emotions go from, like, it's almost like this, what is it, the 7 stages of grief or whatever, where she's like, at first she's in denial, like, oh, it's fine. And then, right. And then by the end, she's like completely just confused as to what just happened. But Chantele, we have our winner.
We have our winner. There's something that's a little bit unsatisfying about it. I don't know what it is. I haven't figured out what it is, but I love even seeing like the scene with New York after. Like, I think that this is all great. Maybe because I don't see the connection with I don't know what it is, but I don't feel satisfied. But it could be because I haven't seen the reunion. If they're still together, maybe they had a couple 6 kids. Like, I don't know, but yeah, there's something about it that's a little bit unsatisfying. Do you know what it is?
Well, for one, I think New York is the star of the season, right? And so although the villain does lose, I think New York is very much the villain of the season as well. And we do get like a happy ending. I think at the time, people were so anti-New York by this point because she had just said some awful things. She had fought with everybody. And Hoopz was almost like the girl next door equivalent, you know, like, like, okay, yeah. Right. Like, people were like, oh, but Hoopz, she wasn't in a lot of the drama. She wasn't doing all that kind of stuff. And so people were very happy with the outcome in the real time. But it feels like honestly, it feels like New York likes him more. So it's kind of like, although Hoopz won, and Brittany points out that she was so happy when Hoopz won. But it's true. It's true. People were truly rooting for like Goldie. They were rooting for Hoopz, and then it's like the counterculture was kind of rooting for New York. Like I kind of want to see like because she's all in on the bit. Like if she doesn't like him, she's at least committed to it in a way that I think Lauren is pointing out that she thinks that Hoopz knew how to play the system. He knew New York was down for him either way, and so like he knew that like for Flav, by picking New York, she ain't really going nowhere. You know, like if he wanted to pick Hoopz for the show, he could pick Hoopz for the show. And if he went back to New York 3 months later, she'd be sitting right there ready for him, probably.
She said that like she'll wait for him.
She did.
She'll be there for him. So
it's her man.
Yeah,
it's her man. So that's it. We get our finale. We get our winner. It's Nikki Alexander, aka Hoopz, and yeah. And to me, a very fitting ending as far as like the show telling this like hero versus villain story. But again, I do feel like it's a bit incomplete, and I think VH1 felt like it was a bit incomplete too. So we are going to get the reunion where we bring all these women back because you have to see what happens when Pumpkin and New York link up. But we also have to see what happens when these women hear what they say about each other behind each other's back. There's a lot of sniping going on throughout this season. If you think back to think about the things Hottie has said about women. Think about the things women have said about Hottie. Red Oyster hating on everybody. Pumpkin in New York. Hoopz in New York. Flav and Sweetie. There are definitely some moments where people are going to watch the show and they might have something to say. And so for the reunion special, we are going to bring back all 20 women and talk through the issues as we prepare for, as you know, the season 2. So, Chantele, another reason why you might feel like it's a little incomplete is that you do know you have the luxury that a lot of people don't have, that season 2 is coming. We didn't know that at the time.
That's true. And also, though, like I know that I like New York now, and so like I'm not on the same journey where this might have been very like we just slayed the dragon, like so I wasn't on that side of things, and so that could be why that doesn't feel complete for me. But obviously it's still like it was a very enjoyable ride. Like it was great. I just was like like I need more, and so maybe it's just I need more.
Okay. Well, that said, there is a season 2 coming. And I would like to know why you think that is. Like obviously the money is on the table. Like, VH1 is like, hey, this is a massive hit. But Hoopz and Flav seem to like each other. What do you think happens between the two of them that would make us have to come to a season 2? And then you have any predictions for what that would look like?
Well, they would have to break up. Like for sure. And also New York still wants to get her man. And
so you think New York's coming back for her man for season 2?
I would think so. No? I don't know.
Mean, you know me. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, Chantele, but we could get to all of that once we talk about the reunion special. And so I'm going to enlist the services of Matt Scott and, of course, the chat here so we can talk about the foolishness that's in the reunion special. And then we have to come back for season 2 of Flavor of Love. I want to get some predictions for you about season 2 next episode because that'll be fun. I might preview the cast for you, give you a quick glimpse at the new faces that we get. And then we got to do this roller coaster ride all over again. But, this time you're not coming in with a built-in rooting interest in New York like you did with this last time, because you came in looking to see how New York does. But now we got more faces. We got more people, and we may or may not have New York. So we should see what you think.
I mean, I don't know what to think yet. So, like, when she's not in it, or is it about her? I can't remember.
Or is it about her? Who knows? But this is the first installment of the Flavor of Love cinematic universe, and so we have a ton more to talk about. Oh my God,
that's actually what it is.
We are literally one time through this, and we have a bunch of other content to cover. And so, Chantele, this has been so much fun, but we will have to reconvene next time. And in the meantime, tell everybody what you are working on, where they can find you, until we're back next week with Matt Scott for our reunion.
Obviously on Instagram at ShanFranFran or at Reality Realness with 3 S's. And I've been covering the challenge season 41. Holy cow. On my YouTube channel, Reality Realness with 3 S's. We just did a recap for episode 5 last night. So check that out in the recap. It's a good season so far. And there's probably a lot of things that are coming up that I want to cover. Oh, I'm on Nerdtainment. I am covering Australia versus the world. What a season. Like,
crazy.
What a season. I do think that last episode was the best episode of the season so far, but each episode has been the best episode of the season so far. So
absolutely,
it's like, it's a time. It's kind of everything that US Survivor wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, it's fantastic. So over on Nerdtainment, if you want to check that out, me and Sarah, I've been covering it on her channel twice a week. So we should be back on Monday and Wednesday next week for the third to last and second to last episodes. And then the finale the following week.
All right. And I want to give a special shout out to the people in the chat. Brittany and Lauren have been riding with us for a while now. And when I tell you, they are speaking my soul, because they said the season 2 cast is better. And Lauren says season 2 is better. Chantele, season 2, in my opinion, is better than season 1.
Wow.
Yeah. I quote season 2 more than I quote season 1. And you know I got the season 1 quotes now. So you can just imagine what's coming in season 2.
I'm wondering if I should do like some tarot predictions or something.
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
like,
does it work retroactively?
I don't really know. What I've been doing, I've been doing tarot predictions, usually with Sarah and Kendra from season 45. We've been looking at the seasons of Survivor, and we've been kind of pulling cards to see who's going to be the winner, and then we talk about it mid-season, that we talk about at the end, and we see like what worked, and we're trying to figure out what cards mean what, and so it would be just like a work in progress, but maybe I'll give a prediction for each person.
Maybe we'll come to the premiere and we'll talk about it. Yeah, that'll be fun. I like that. Because
especially because you'll know what the truth is, and I'll be like, so this person, I don't know, like this card means that she could be a liar and a backstabber, like, you know what I mean? And like
okay. Now this is gonna be fun. Like you remember when we first started talking, I was getting real hyped because I knew you didn't know what was coming. I'm starting to feel that again. I'm starting to feel the hype, because when I tell you season 2 is cracked, it is cracked. Okay, and so we will be back next week to talk about the reunion, and then we'll be back later on to talk about the premiere of season 2. So thank you all for listening. You can make sure you catch us here on Recap Kickback. Subscribe to the podcast, recapkickback.com/subscribe. Catch me in my guest spot over on the Was It Good Though podcast. Last week I talked about Love Jones with them. I love that movie, and we had a lot of heated conversation about that movie. I'll be joining them in a couple weeks to talk about Remember the Titans. I just love hanging out with them and talking about these random movies. So you got to catch me on Was It Good Though. Show them some love. Hit the thumbs up on their podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe. Tell them Chappell sent you, all that good stuff. And then catch me in various locations. The Nothing But Netflix podcast, talking about K-pop demon hunters on WeKnowRealityTV.com. And on the Nothing But Netflix podcast, nothingbutpod.com. And then, of course, Big Brother content behind the paywall on RHAP, and Australian Survivor versus the World with me and Shannon every week. So you can catch me in all those locations. Follow me on all social media platforms and keep up with what I have going with over there. But that's it. So for Chantele and for myself, we'll catch you next time on the Flavor of Love Kickback Reunion Special Live. Peace. I've been trapped behind this wall, Maria. Isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreams. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.